What's up? This is Nak3d Eli with my very first vlog. I am at this hotel in Anaheim waiting for the train to come. There's this crappy yellow wall. I apologize, it's the best I could do with the background. I wanted to answer some questions about Halo 4 from my Facebook page, facebook.com/Nak3d Halo. I'm going to go through, say who had the question, what the question was, and then answer it based on my playtesting of Halo 4. So the first question is from Peter Conlon. He wanted to know about kill times, bloom, recoil, spread, shots to kill, armor abilities, and bleed through. So very quickly, the kill times were very fast, much faster than Halo 4, Halo Reach, especially the Halo Reach beta, which was very slow. Bloom was minimal on the DMR. The pistol had bloom if you shot it very rapidly, very similar to Reach, although less than Reach. Recoil, I never got to use the sniper, so it was actually, I didn't notice recoil on any other weapon, and I heard the sniper might have recoil in the final Halo 4, at least in the current beta. Spread was very minimal. Shots to kill was 5-shot BR and 5-shot DMR. The DMR tended to be more powerful at close and long range, so I think they're going to still be testing those out to balance the BR because it was a little bit underwhelming, to be honest, especially when you're expecting a 4-shot kill with the BR. Armor abilities, I use Promethean Vision, super overpowered. You literally see through walls. You can constantly use it over and over and over, especially without radar if you're using it in MLG. I think that's going to be by far the most preferred power weapon. It might even be overpowered like Armor Lock was, and they might not even use it in competitive play. But of course this is all still being tweaked, it is a beta, so you know, this is just the first impression that a lot of the pros and players had, was that Promethean Vision was by far the most powerful. They also had the thruster pack, which is not like the jetpack. Instead of going straight up like the jetpack, you go side to side. So it's more similar to Evade, where you can go like super left or super right really fast. You can do it in any direction, so you can thruster pack backwards. And this is cool if you're thruster packing off of a cliff. Then it's not like Evade where you fall down. You'd actually just go horizontally and then drop. So that's the thruster pack. It's not the same as the jetpack at all. And other armor abilities are just like hologram. There's probably others, but you know, these are still all being tweaked for the final version. Bleed through of course exists. There's no health bar, it's just a shield bar, and so after a few shots you will be able to kill an enemy with a headshot or with a melee. So let's see, going down we have Alex Huntsman wants to know about Forerunner weapons versus human weapons versus Covey weapons. Now historically, Covey weapons have always been about the shield, right? You want to remove shield by using the Covey weapons, whether it's the plasma pistol, the plasma rifle, and the plasma pistol did just as good a job as it's always been at removing shields. The human weapons, of course, kill you once the shields are off very quickly. The Forerunner weapons, I only got to use the scatter shot, which is that close range sort of shotgun-like weapon that shoots out like 6 fire bursts, I guess, and they like hit off walls and around corners. And when you kill someone with that, their body actually disintegrates. So I haven't seen like the use of the light rifle like we saw in the campaign demo, and I'm sure there are other weapons that will be Forerunner tech that they just haven't even revealed yet. So I'm really excited to see how these come out, and also, as Alex wants to know, how these are balanced in the sandbox in the final version. Matthew Lyons wanted to know bloom of the BR. There was no bloom. It's just like the Halo 3 BR, except I didn't like the reticule. It had a circle inside of the hit marker area, and that sort of threw me off a little bit because I wasn't really used to it. I'm sure you know it's a small thing. I'd get used to it in the final version. And he also wanted to know accuracy of the sniper when fired no scope, which I didn't get to use the sniper, but I would imagine it's just like Reach, where if you hit them in the head, they die one shot, just like in any Halo game, 2 shots to the body, and it will always be difficult to no-scope because it's usually a very small reticule in the middle. So I don't imagine it getting any easier or more OP than it's been in the past at close range. Raphael David wants to know about Spartan Ops and how the ordnance thing will work. I didn't get to playtest Spartan Ops personally. There was a Halo 4 party, people did get to play Spartan Ops. They said it was a little bit like Firefight plus like a campaign. So you're moving through and there's like enemy drops and then you proceed onward. But that was just the demo, that was just the test. I'm sure that there will be more revealed in the next 6 months before Halo 4 is released. And ordnance works, I did get to test that. That's basically almost like a kill streak. It's where every time you get a kill or an assist on an enemy, you have a meter on the left side that starts to add up, and you can see it, each little increment adding up as you take these actions. When it fills up, in the middle of your screen, the directional pad will ask you to select either grenades, a weapon, or a power-up. The power-ups are like overshield, so let's say you get, I don't know, 5 to 6 kills with a few assists, and this, activates. You can get an overshield, and the ordnance drop takes about 2 seconds, and it just drops right in front of you, right in your vicinity. There was an instance where the drop actually hit like on the stairs above somebody, so it's possible that because it's like in a minimal space, that the ordnance drop might not always be on your level. I'm sure that's something they would want to fix. I'm not sure how exactly they're going to do it. I don't know how I feel about this competitively, because it's going to promote statting and camping, and people are going to want to stay alive and not take as many risks. It might slow down gameplay. So I'm hoping that this ordnance drop is going to be tweaked in the final version, or at least more weapons will be able to be customized on the map, because there are very few weapons that you could pick up around the map. Most of it was ordnance drops, and people like to choose the power-ups. There was also a damage boost. I don't know exactly how much damage was added, but in my playtest I almost got a perfection my first game, because I didn't get it because I got the damage boost, thought it would be a lot, charged 2 guys, and they just destroyed me. So it wasn't enough of a damage boost that I could take on 2 guys and just, wreck right through them. Maybe it took it from like a 5-shot kill to a 4-shot kill with the BR or something. And there's also speed boost, which makes you run around like you're on crack, and you also reload faster. So it's like super speed mode, and I'm sure there will be others that we'll see coming out. Adam Gills Thomas asked if friendly fire is always turned off or if it's just for E3. I'm guessing it's just for E3. Friendly fire has always been on in multiplayer except for in select minigame modes. It's just like Living Dead and Reaches now. So I imagine that it was just so that people who don't know what they're doing didn't just grenade their teammates, and you couldn't ruin your teammates' fun. Jesper Bjorling wants to know how the Promethean weapon reloads. The scatter shot reloaded just like the shotgun, where it was 1 shell that was added in every single time. Other than that, I didn't get to test other Forerunner weapons like the light rifle or anything else that we saw. George Lee said, I just want your opinion on the game in general. From the looks of it, it doesn't look like a Halo game with the sprint, hit markers, grenade indicators, etc. I have to disagree. It looked and felt just like Halo. Sprint is in Halo Reach, which it's just an addition, and now in all first-person shooters, pretty much you can sprint. People don't like sprint competitively because when you have shields, you can just run away essentially. Once you start getting shot and you don't know where you're getting shot from, it turns into a game of cat and mouse as opposed to a game of shooting to kill each other. So I'm hoping that with the stopping power in Halo 4, where right now you're sprinting away and you get shot at, it stops your sprint. You can't just keep sprinting. But you can pick sprint back up if you manage to avoid a few other shots. So this is still, I'm sure, going to be heavily tested. And in the final version, I'm hoping that it won't just be a cat and mouse game where, it has the illusion of looking fast-paced, but it's really just people running away from each other all the time. Hit markers should have been in every Halo game, in my opinion. Everyone loves them that I've talked to. It's especially in online play, you aren't sure if someone's eating shots, or if they are actually taking the damage. And hit markers will let you know that you've hit 1, 2, 3, 4 shots, and that 5th shot for the headshot will definitely kill them. Grenade indicators, it's just like all weapon indicators now. When they're on the ground, you can actually see like the shotgun, and it'll say shotgun, or the scatter shot, or grenades. So this is actually something really useful, so you don't have to just run over a pile of weapons and say, okay, what is this? Because, in previous games you could get confused, you don't know what things are, and then you run up to them and then it turns out that it's not even the weapon you wanted. So I really like this new feature, and it definitely plays just like Halo. Philip Brown wanted to know about the sniper. He said Bravo, Walshy, and Bestman said it felt heavy and clunky. I didn't get to use the sniper, but I've heard that the whole game, the gameplay itself, the movement feels heavy and clunky, so it could have been that the movement itself made the sniper feel heavy and clunky, but I'm not really sure because I haven't play tested it yet. Hasnat Sid wants to know if I could test the button layouts if possible, such as recon, etc. I got to play with Bumper Jumper, which I really enjoyed. It was just like Bumper Jumper from Reach, except the one weird thing that really annoyed me was to throw grenades I had to press X. And that's because they switched the grenade button, I'm pretty sure, with the armor ability button. So that avoids the problem of like when you wanted to jetpack in Halo 4, you had to go Bear Claw, or Halo Reach, sorry. You had to go Bear Claw and, you know, like use multiple fingers to hit the buttons. So I'm hoping that they find some way to integrate it, but you know, there's only so many buttons that can go around. There's also one called like fish sticks or something, just some weird new layouts. Honestly, I think what they should do is be able to customize the entire layout system so that you can just literally say, I want A to be jump, I want B to be melee, I want Y to switch weapons, I want left trigger to throw grenade, and I don't understand why exactly you can't just customize your controller layout, but maybe that's an engineering thing that I'm not familiar with. Jordan Bell wanted to know about Mythic difficulty. I didn't get to play test the campaign at all. I haven't heard about skulls or difficulty multipliers, so I can't really comment on that. Jamie Paulser wants to know about the ranking system, question mark. And it's a good question. It's what everybody wants to know, right? Is it that the ranking system will be like Reach? Because we've seen on the bottom of screenshots Inheritor, we've seen Legend with the flaming skull, we've seen Major Grade 2 or whatever. It looks just like the Reach ranking system. However, we also saw in the screenshot Frankie reached rank A7. No one knows what that means. I'm really hoping it's like a 1 to 50 system or something to match like the StarCraft system, like a ladder. We just need some numerical system, a decent ranking system that competitive players can accelerate in. And when you're at the top level, you're only playing people at that ranking system at the highest level. So in Reach, for some reason the true skill level works that the high level players will be matched with lower level players because that sort of balances it out and finds you games faster. Whereas Halo 3 was very addicting at high levels because people knew going into a match that it would be a very intense game and that their teammates would also know what they're doing. If you're a 50 searching alone, you're going to get 45 to 50s on your team, and you're going to expect that they have a certain level of knowledge and skill and communication that you can then work with. So I'm hoping, just like everyone, that the ranking system is, you know, top-notch. Jared Simmons Phillips wants to know about new weapons. Besides the scatter shot, I can't really think of any other new weapons. It really was just showing off the BR and the DMR. The DMR seemed to be more powerful, even though they were both 5-shot. It had a longer scope, and it was also the bloom was very minimal. So not like Reach default where it wouldn't work if you spam the trigger. In this, it seemed like you could just shoot as fast as you want, and the bloom would never get in the way of your shots if you had an accurate shot. The Needler was super powerful. Like, it was actually a power weapon to be dropped with ordnance, and so that was like 5 to 6 needles and they would just explode, and it would track them very quickly. It was nothing like the old Needler that we knew, and I really enjoyed playing with the Needler, probably more than any other weapon, to be honest. Which sounds really newbie, but if you had played it, you're just like, wow, this thing is incredibly powerful. The Carbine is back, so just like in Halo 3, it shoots very quickly, but it's even more fast-paced, even more accurate than its predecessor. So right here I've got this sheet freaking out in the wind, trying to create a better lighting. I hope that the lighting wasn't screwed up too much. And let's see, movement, I already went over that from Odin Montoya. It feels a little heavy. You're supposed to feel like a tank moving through the battlefield, but at the same time you want to feel fast. You want to feel like you could sprint to save somebody in like a millisecond if they needed you, you know? So you have to find that mix between the 2,000-pound machine and the fast-paced, muscular human and controlling inside of it. And I feel like they've done a decent job, although I would still like it to feel a little more crisp, a little more fluid when the game launches in its final version. James McAvoy wants to know about spectator mode, and honestly, spectator mode hasn't been confirmed. I was talking to someone who said that BS Angel was interested in having spectator mode, but they just aren't sure if they have the time to put it in the game. So I'm hoping that they will find the time and have the resources to put it in, because that would be huge for competitive play. Just like with StarCraft now, you have the 2 players doing their 300 actions per minute, but you also have the commentators and the spectator mode overviewing the specific most important points. Imagine if it was like theater mode and during a live game and you could just pull out, see where everyone is on the map, have indicators. That would just really change the viewing experience of Halo. And then mix that with the fact that Twitch is now coming out onto the Xbox so that you can access live streaming from your 360. That's going to be huge. You know, this could literally turn Halo into the most competitive, most watched esport in history. So I'm really, you know, my fingers are crossed. I'm hoping for it. Corey S wants to know about Forerunner Vision. Specifically, it's now called Promethean Vision. Prometheans are the highest warrior class of Forerunners. So it's basically, this sheet is going crazy. I don't even know if that's in the shot, but it's super OP. You can see through walls, you can see through floors, and what it does is it sends out a ping so that you can see immediately the enemies closest to you. And then you can even see like really far across the map enemies who are very far away. I think to make it better in the final version, you could minimize the range of it, or maybe decrease the time that it takes for that wave to span out for you to see your enemies. I also think it needs to be it needs to have a slow recharge rate, because if you could just constantly be using this, you would know where your enemies are at all times, especially given 4 people using Promethean Vision. And finally, Nick Martin wants to know, he says, I simply want you to tell me if it feels like Halo. And to be honest, it really did. It felt fantastic. It felt better. I enjoyed the Reach beta, and I think it was even better than the Reach beta to me. It was a new game, and I understand that it's new mechanics that some people might disagree with, but to me it's the evolution of gaming. It's something to attract even more of a casual fan base. It's something to bring back all the players who felt like newer Halos weren't as exciting as newer, let's say, Call of Duty games. And it's all about the marketing, right? Even though I want Halo to be just Halo, and I would love to have the most crisp, competitive, clean game possible, I also want the mechanics, the sandbox elements, and the extra nice pieces of it from other games even. Just like in sci-fi universes, everyone shares great ideas with everybody else. I feel like the gaming community is really coming together on that. And I think that Halo 4 is going to attract not only previous Halo fans, but will attract new players from other games who love Halo but haven't really been into Halo recently. And I'm really excited for the future of Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo 6 with 343 Industries. So that's pretty much it. Check out my Facebook at facebook.com/nakedhalo. I ask questions all the time. Maybe I'll do more videos like this in the future, I don't know. Right now I'm using Bravo's flip cam to record this as we're waiting to leave Anaheim. It is now 3:43 p.m., not even joking. I don't know if I can get that in the shot or whatever, what this is doing. I don't know how to vlog, but that's awesome. I'm going to end it on that note. So this is Nak3d Eli. See you later.